I'm 34, male, and until recently I believed my life was pretty ordinary. I'd been married to B for 8 years, thinking I knew her inside and out. We have 2 young kids, both under 5, a modest home, and I've been grinding long hours as a construction project manager to provide for them. To me, being a husband and father meant sacrificing to secure their future. 6 months ago, everything shifted. It started subtly. B was glued to her phone, chuckling at messages she'd hide, quickly locking the screen when I came near. I brushed it off at first, assuming it was just chats with friends. But then she started leaving the house more often. Girls' nights, errands, sometimes disappearing for hours, even overnight. One night, she didn't return until nearly 2 a.m. I waited up, pacing, trying to keep my imagination in check. When she walked in, I calmly asked where she'd been. She exploded, accusing me of suffocating her, calling me paranoid. Her words stung. Maybe you're why I don't want to be here. Maybe this is on you. I'd been working 60-hour weeks to support us, and she was blaming me. I swallowed my anger, but suspicion began to take root. The signs piled up. Extra time primping before going out, secretive texts, late nights. I wanted to believe it was a phase, but my instincts screamed otherwise. Weeks later, I confronted her directly, asking if she was seeing someone else. She denied it, her defensiveness sharper than ever, labeling me controlling and insecure. She turned it around, making me feel like the villain. But her behavior didn't add up. One night, after she went to sleep, I crossed a line I never thought I would. I checked her phone. I wasn't proud, but I needed the truth. Most messages were deleted, but one partially erased thread remained, flirty and far too intimate for a married woman. My heart raced as the reality hit. My wife was cheating. The betrayal wasn't just the affair, it was the lies, the gaslighting making me doubt my sanity. The next morning I confronted her with the texts. She didn't blink, denying everything, calling me delusional. Then came the bombshell. If you keep this up, I'll tell everyone you've been abusive. Who do you think they'll believe? I was stunned. Abusive? I'd never touched her. Never raised my voice beyond normal arguments. Yet she was threatening to ruin me. It was a wake-up call. She was capable of far worse than infidelity. That night I couldn't sleep. Her threat echoed in my mind. She knew a false abuse claim could destroy my reputation, my career, and worst of all, take my kids. Fear gripped me, but then I had a plan. I needed proof to protect myself. I installed cameras in the house's common areas, living room, kitchen, hallways, not to spy, but to document the truth if she followed through on her threat. For weeks, I played it cool, acting like nothing had changed. I didn't let her know I was on to her. Then, one night, it happened. We were arguing, same old routine. I'd stopped pressing about the affair, knowing she'd just lie. But this time, she escalated. She screamed, accusing me of being aggressive, claiming I was scaring her, despite me standing calmly, nowhere near her. Then she threw herself against the wall, shrieking, "Stop hitting me! Why are you hurting me?" I was frozen. I hadn't touched her. Her performance was chillingly convincing. She ran upstairs, fake sobbing, locking herself in the bathroom. I stood there, heart pounding, realizing she was setting me up to call the police. But then I remembered the cameras. Hands trembling, I checked the footage on my phone. There it was, me in the kitchen, far from her, as she staged the scene. Relief hit, followed by rage. How could she sink this low? I didn't confront her immediately. I saved the footage, phone, USB, email backups. I contacted a lawyer the next day, laying out everything: the affair, the lies, the threats, the staged abuse. He was shocked, saying the footage was damning evidence of manipulation. We planned for divorce and a fight for full custody. I gathered more proof, texts, additional footage, while keeping up a facade of normalcy. When I served her divorce papers, she erupted, accusing me of ruining her life, claiming I'd been emotionally abusive for years. But I stayed calm, telling her I'd already lawyered up. Her face shifted. She was scared. For the first time, she knew her lies wouldn't hold. The divorce got messy. She tried tears, rage, more accusations. But my lawyer used the footage to dismantle her credibility. The judge saw through her and I won. Full custody, the house, everything. She barely got supervised visitation. It wasn't the victory I wanted, but it was necessary. The courtroom ruling left me hollow. I reflected on our years together, the sacrifices, the moments I thought we were happy. It wasn't just a marriage ending, it was a betrayal that shattered everything I believed about her. Post-ruling, things quieted briefly, but I knew she wasn't done. Days later, she showed up unannounced, looking unhinged, screaming that I couldn't keep her from the kids. "You think you've won? You'll mess this up," she spat. I stayed composed, threatening to call the police, and she left. But then came the drive-bys, her car creeping past the house at odd hours, even showing up at my workplace. I got a restraining order, documenting everything with the cameras. This was the woman I'd loved, now a vengeful stranger. A month later, my lawyer called. She'd filed a complaint, claiming I was blocking her access to the kids. The cameras saved me again, showing her missed visits and lies. The complaint was dismissed, but I wasn't done. I pushed for stricter visitation limits, citing her harassment and instability. In court, the footage spoke for itself: drive-bys, unannounced visits, false claims. The judge restricted her to minimal supervised visits. She looked defeated, her lies exposed. Afterward, she moved out of state, likely to escape the consequences. The kids and I found a new normal, and I shielded them from the truth about their mother. I keep the cameras up, ready for whatever she might try next. This ordeal taught me that those closest to us can hurt us the most. The betrayal wasn't just the affair. It was her willingness to destroy me to save herself. I fought back with evidence and won, but it's a bittersweet victory. If you're in a similar situation, don't wait. Gather proof, protect yourself, and be ready to fight. Life's unpredictable, and I'm prepared for whatever comes next. Maybe hit that subscribe button. You never know what's around the corner. Thank you for watching Story. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell for more real-life stories.